Good morning and welcome. Happy Thanksgiving weekend. We are delighted that we are all here together. My name is Chris. My pronouns are he, him, and welcome to each and every one of you to SSUC, to Southminster Steinhauer United Church, where we are spiritual seekers united in community, which means that we're a place for questions, for wondering, for learning, for visioning, and as we move through the changes and transitions of life, wherever we happen to be on life's path, we're exploring the inner workings of the human experience and what it means to be our best and highest human selves. So welcome to this place and to this gathering. We hope you feel free and welcome to pursue your journey in seeking spirituality and meaning in community today. No matter what your week has been like, no matter whether you've been here many times or this is your first, no matter whether you're here in this room or whether you're joining us online, welcome. We're glad you're here, and we hope you feel that you're not just welcome, but that you belong to community, to the spiritual endeavor, to life. Southminster Steinhauer United Church acknowledges that we are located on Treaty 6 territory, respecting the history, languages, cultures, spiritualities of the First Nations, Métis, Inuit, and all First Nations peoples whose presence continue to enrich our community. This morning, as our acknowledgement of the land, I want to read an excerpt from Thanksgiving address, Greetings to the Natural World. First by Rakwaho Mohawk leader, and then translated into English in 1993. This is just a few sections from that Thanksgiving address. Today we have gathered and we see that the cycles of life continue. We've been given the duty to live in balance and harmony with each other and all living things. So now we bring our minds together as one as we give greetings and thanks to each other as people. Now our minds are one. We're thankful to our mother, the earth, for she gives us all that we need for life. She supports our feet as we walk about upon her. It gives us joy that she continues to care for us as she has from the beginning of time. To our mother we send greetings and thanks. Now our minds are one. And we gather to greet and thank the enlightened teachers who have come to help throughout the ages. When we forget how to live in harmony, they remind us of the way we were instructed to live as people. With one mind, we send greetings and thanks to these caring teachers. Now our minds are one.
Good morning, I'm Steve Bailey. My pronouns are he, him, and I am the gathering companion today. So we'd like to first just take a moment as we gather in our community space and online, take a moment to center ourselves in the spirit of our unity and our intention. And as we do that, we light this candle, which symbolizes our shared presence, our collective hopes, and the light that we each bring into the world. May this flame be a reminder of our connection between us, within us, beyond us, and as it burns, may it illuminate our path and inspire peace, hope, and purpose in our hearts and in our community. And in that spirit of community, because we are community, we like to take a moment to acknowledge all who we welcome and all who we affirm. And I'm going to take a page out of our friend Mary's book, and I'm going to ask you to say this along with me as we do and think about this every week, and say it like you mean it. So, we welcome everyone, all sizes, all ages, all colors, all cultures, all abilities, all genders, all sexualities, all learning styles and neurotypes, all religions or none, all people. And we do welcome all people, and we just would not be the same without all of you.
Time on the carpet is a favorite time. If you'd like to come for the Time for All Ages, you can come and be here with me. You can stay in your chairs, whatever you like. Hello. Come on in. Steve, do you mind flipping my pages? Thank you. Let's scooch up and make a little bit more room, just so that if you're at the edge, come to the middle. That's good, 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 good. Excellent. I have a book. It's not a Thanksgiving book, but I think you're going to see that we're going to have a bit of a Thanksgiving conversation about it. This is called One Word from Sophia, and it's by Jim Averbeck and Yasmin Ishmael. Ready? Sophia's birthday was coming up, and she had 5 things on her mind: 1 true desire and 4 problems. Okay, let's figure out what they are. Her 1 true desire was to get a pet giraffe for her birthday. Ever wanted a pet giraffe? No? The 4 problems were mother, who was a judge, father, who was a businessman, Uncle Conrad, who was a politician, and Grandmama, who was very strict. Sophia presented her case to her mother. I would like a giraffe, she said, because they burn less gasoline, so they meet federal regulations better than the cars we use now. In the last 50 years, no giraffes have been recalled for defective parts, and newer models have a particularly strong safety record. Also, giraffes have not been shown to be the cause of any major diseases. Giraffes are legal. And a giraffe could take me to ballet class and deliver me right to the 2nd floor. Look at right up there. Her argument was accomplished by a compelling slideshow that included a map of her walk to school. I'm sorry, said Mother in her decision, but I will have to rule against a giraffe at this time. You provided no proof that you are ready for pet ownership, and failed to cite any laws about minors driving quadrupeds. And your argument was too verbose. Verbose, asked Sophie. What does that mean? Too many words, said Mother. How many should I use? Fewer, said Mother. And she retired to her chambers. So Sophia used fewer words with father. Giraffes, said Sophia, are a good source of manure, which can be sold at a profit to garden centers and activists. In short, people will pay me for poop. Her proposal was accompanied by a compelling graph showing how much money she would make. I'm sorry, said Father, but your business plan is not sound. You fail to count the cost of care and feeding for your manure producer, not to mention the warehousing of poop. And your presentation was far too effusive. Effusive? asked Sophie. What does that mean? Too many words, said Father. How many should I use? Fewer, said Father, and he got back to his conference call. Sophia polled the other members of her household, she asked her other family members, and presented the results to Uncle Conrad. 4 out of 5 respondents are in favor of giraffes, she said. The results were accompanied by a compelling pie chart. Ooh. She drew a pie chart. I'm sorry, said Uncle Conrad, but your results indicate that being in favor of giraffe ownership would cost me support from the pony American community. And besides, your report was far too loquacious. Sophie didn't even need to ask. Finally, she approached Grandmama. She accompanied her plea with a compelling foot rub. Giraffes? No, said Grandmama. And do try to get to the point next time. In a last desperate attempt before her birthday, Sophia prepared to speak to everyone at once. She revised and shortened her proposition until it was just one word. Please! The proposal was accompanied by a particularly compelling pair of eyes. On her birthday, Sophia was delighted to find that short and sweet often brings results. One word really worked, she said. And two words came in handy as well. Thank you. Thank you. Well, that's the end. The end has a glossary, and that means that it tells you all the big words in the book, and it tells you what they mean. Oh my gosh, one word from Sophie. Hi. Hi. You see the giraffe?
Oh yeah, the giraffe's hugging too.
Yes. It's Thanksgiving weekend, and sometimes we have to think of things that we're thankful for. Sometimes we can make big, long lists. We can use lots of words. Yeah, but I love this book because it reminds us that short and sweet, even one word is enough. So maybe thank you is enough, or thanks. Maybe please is enough. Maybe just one word. The best things are short. Yes, indeed. Short and sweet. So whether it's thank you, other very short things are very meaningful too, like I love you. That's only 3 words, but it's really an amazing thing to say. I'm sorry is pretty short. That's an amazing thing to say. Thank you, please. What else is short? I don't know. You're welcome is short. Very good. Please, yes. All of the best things are really short. You don't have to have a lot of big fancy words, do you? We can just be really simple about it. And so if the weekend is about thank you, 2 words. Amazing. Really great. I hope you all have an amazing day and an amazing weekend. And I want to invite you now to either go back to your seats, or Daisy and Ariane are ready to lead you in a Thanksgiving Kids Spirit Day. And you're at the back, at the table, and in the nursery, in the baby care room, and the toddler room, and the playroom. Wherever it is you'll be. Have a good morning.
I think Dad has to go.
This is our chance to share a few items in the work and life of our community. And if you're prepared to speak and have something to share, please make your way to the front. I want to just share a few really quick things off the top. It is October, and so we are honoring Socktober for our friends at Operation Friendship Senior Society. You'll notice the bin of socks that is now starting to overflow. This is a great problem to have. Bring your socks through the month of October, and we'll make some warm feet for a lot of seniors downtown this fall. I want to spend just 2 minutes talking about some of the needs of our beautiful space that we occupy each and every Sunday morning and through the week. Our facility needs you. And so if you would consider a couple of ways that you can help, that would be really amazing. Our property committee is looking to not just find a kitchen coordinator to put together a kitchen team. You know how they say the kitchen is the heart of your house? It's also the heart of this space, and it takes the most work to keep it going and to keep it clean. If you think that you want to help by doing a few different things, a coordinator, a kitchen cleaning crew, which would just kind of make sure on a weekly basis that things are covered on a checklist and that things are looking okay. There are descriptions of all of these roles on the foyer table. If you want to take a look and see if that's something you could do. That would be amazing. And then one other thing, with our new custodian that's been with us for a month or two now, we're having some scheduling problems with some midweek chair and table setup for a few of our activities and few of our groups. If there's some time in the middle of the week that you could give 15 minutes, 30 minutes to setting up 15 or 20 chairs or taking some food bank tables down or that kind of thing, there's some time slots also on the foyer table if you've got a little bit of time and can just pop over and do some quick tasks. So a few ways to help out. The property and maintenance team would be so grateful. Thank you very much. Claire is here.
I'm Claire Woodbury, and my pronouns are he and him. And I'm here to make sure you know about the St. Stephen's College convocation. Now, it's not long ago that many of us were at convocation because Nancy was receiving an honorary Doctor of Ministry degree. Well, lo and behold, this convocation, and it's going to be October the 27th, and it's going to be in Westbury Theatre, downtown, just in the center of the city. But there'll be more about this in our bulletin. But Gordon Oakes, Gordon and Esther have been part of our congregation, and Gordon is going to receive an honorary Doctor of Ministry, this time at St. Stephen's College. So a lot of us are excited about that. Gordon has done a great deal. I mean, I know about he served over 25 years on the Doctor of Ministry Committee at St. Stephen's. I know because I was on it for that time, and he served beyond when I went off it. And he went on to become Chancellor of St. Stephen's College and launched the Gala, a yearly event that has raised quite a bit of money for St. Stephen's College. But some of the things I did not know about, he co-chaired, he spent time in Australia and Zimbabwe when he was younger with Shared Ministries. And he co-chaired the board of YAGO, which is a not-for-profit organization that supports those working with genocide survivors and vulnerable youth in Rwanda. And Dr. Oakes expanded his ministry of competences by pursuing studies at Andover Newton, and he graduated with a Doctor of Ministry degree there. But for more than 60 years, and I'm reading from the St. Stephen's part of the blurb they put out, has contributed deeply to the learning community at St. Stephen's College. And he actually was did time in the residence when he was younger at St. Stephen's, and then served on the Doctor of Ministry Committee, was chancellor, and then he has continued to support St. Stephen's. You and I probably know him as the very effective minister of St. Paul's United Church, and then when he retired then, because old ministers don't retire, they don't die, they just fade away, as the saying goes. He went on and cared for people at McDougall United Church, downtown Edmonton. And so those of us who know him, and maybe some who don't, are very excited about his honorary doctorate and look forward to being with him on the 27th of this month.
Thank you, Claire. Good morning. My name is Erin Robinson. My pronouns are she, her, and I am with the Merry Moments Market that takes place this year on November 29th here in this space. This is an event that supports the Refugee Committee and also other programs here at SSUC. It involves a craft and artisan market, sales of pre-packed Christmas treats, a tea room, and in the lower level, pre-loved Christmas holiday treasures. So if you have a storage room or a basement that has some Christmas treasures that you no longer have a use for, please feel free to keep them in mind for the pre-loved market, please. There's a sign-up sheet in the foyer for bakers to sign to bake their favorite seasonal treat. And we welcome all sorts of treats. Sweet and savory would both be welcomed. And where I think I would need the most help is in the tea room, small hall. If you helped with this before, can you please approach me so that I may ask you some questions? And if you are interested in helping in advance, your presence would also be welcomed. The plan is to serve veggie chili with a bun and then have tea and coffee for a small fee for people coming to the market. So again, just come say hi if you are interested in volunteering, but also put it on your calendars to come. We've got some really, really interesting things this year, and I'm excited. So thank you.
Good morning. My name is May Kellerman, and my pronouns are she, her. And I do love you all. So please sign up for the fall dinner. We need at least another 20 people to really make a go of it, and another 50 to have a rousing success. So find, 10 of your favorite friends or people that you can tolerate and put them at another table and bring them to us. We also are looking for auction items, large, small. We're looking for things more like experiences, like Oilers tickets, Citadel tickets, Symphony tickets, things like restaurant gift cards, anything like that, as well as if you've got, I don't know, if you want to offer people rides to the airport, that would be something that people might be interested in bidding on. And finally, thank you so very much. I do love you all.
Good morning, Carl McNamara, pronouns he and him. The Melbourne Maytag Laundromat will be having the Thanksgiving dinner tomorrow, hosting it at the Leafield Community Hall. If anybody knows, my mom and dad started this tradition over 30 years ago. Of course, they're no longer with us. I'm glad to see that the new owners have continued the tradition. So if anybody needs a place to go for Thanksgiving dinner, this is the place to be. Thank you.
No one to blame but myself on that one. Don't know where the words went, but they disappeared. After the 2017 Quebec City mosque shooting, people of all walks of life, all cultures, all faiths, and no faiths gathered in candlelight vigils across Canada. And during that moment, there are moments like this, and it's unfortunate that tragedy has to be the catalyst. But moments when Muslims and Jews atheists and Christians and Sikhs and more can all stand together, not because they shared beliefs, but because they shared grief. And a belief in human dignity. And so candlelight vigils were held, and at the one in Quebec City, a Unitarian minister read a poem, a secular humanist offered a moment of silence, a Muslim teen lit a candle. The ritual was stitched together by shared values: mourning, solidarity, hope. Many of us feel deeply that what binds us together isn't those beliefs that may identify different groups of people. It's care, it's action, it's connection, it's the values we choose to live by. That Quebec City is just one example. In many religious traditions, community is built around those shared beliefs, and throughout history, maybe there's been reason for that, to understand the world a certain way, to understand life. For Christianity, many words and much time is spent on how a first-century man was born, on what it meant when he died, and how to believe the right things about all of it. Those kinds of beliefs might give purpose and meaning and understanding to life when life is difficult. Those kinds of beliefs are also dangerous because they are prescriptive. Anything that is prescriptive, that says, this is the way, and please follow along. Those kinds of beliefs also divide to indicate who's in, who's out, who's right, who's wrong. What we want to experience is a different kind of community and a different kind of spirituality. And we hope for that in the world. What does it mean to not be rooted in dogma, but in what drives us to express our best and highest humanity? One has to think that when disparate groups come together to find compromise or to find a peace deal or to find that tenuous ceasefire, that one would hope that just for a minute, centuries and millennia of rigid beliefs could be set aside so that a common purpose of the safety of our fellow humans and children could be paramount. Just for a minute. And if it can work for a minute, then why can't it work for a lifetime? What is it to create a values-based community or a values-based culture that welcomes traditional Christians, humanists, atheists, spiritual seekers, and anyone who finds meaning in compassion, in justice, in action, in connection, and rooted in a history enough to stay grounded and focused? In the last few weeks, we've been trying to develop a deeper, expansive vocabulary so that we can talk about the kind of journey that we might be on as individuals and the kind of journey that we seek to be on together as a congregation, as a spiritual community. Today, that vocabulary seems simple at first, but is anything but. What is it to be a values-based person and community? What is it to ask the question, how do we want to live? Who do we want to be? What describes the kind of human that we aspire to? That list of values hanging on the wall or projected on your screen right now that we embraced from SSUC Saskatoon when we joined forces to bring our two communities together, that isn't by any means a complete list, but one that suggests that there are ways of being that aren't about what you say about them, but are about how we live them. They show up in how we treat one another, how we respond to suffering, how we build a better world. The Thursday night group that meets to discuss any manner of things has, in a few of their sessions, looked at this list of values and talked about what's missing too. And you should, and if we named all the values that we hold dear in our life, we'd come up with a much longer list, wouldn't we? But the point is that it's a starting place. I'm going to ask you this later. What word for you is crucial to you right now in your life? Just today, this week, this month, this year. Maybe it's one of those, maybe it's something different. What value are you holding at the center of yourself as a way to be the best person you want to be? And what is the one that you are working on? We have so many teachers in this life, don't we? Long gone is the need to have a single authority in your life to tell you how you ought to live. That all we need to know comes from one book. Those days are gone. Whoop. How healthy it is to understand the wisdom of the ancients. It's healthy to understand the wisdom of the ancients, but it's also healthy to look at that wisdom as but one source. To reframe our relationship with our roots helps us to reach towards so much other help that we'd otherwise miss. The scripture of the natural world, the simplicity of children and kids lit, the beauty of poetry, the lived experiences of those who walk with us, the knowledge and wisdom of science and the arts. Listen to this poem by our friend Micah Pollock from his collection, The Space Between the Poplar Boughs. This is called Saskatoons. It's hard for me to explain, but I no longer want anything. I don't want cities, or noise, or busyness, or hurried striving. Look at this handful of ripe berries. Listen to the simple hymn of the white-throated sparrow, the hushed applause of the young poplars. I want nothing but the forest, your hand in mine, and for our children to see the peace and joy brought by slow, deep breaths and thankful living. I don't need or want anything else, even though I realize that I may be asking for the entire world. To be centered on our values for living means that we wish to examine and reflect on who we are and how we act. What matters most? What do we ask of and what do we give to this world, even if it seems like we're asking a lot? And how do we live it out? It's Thanksgiving weekend, so we might focus on one value that we find on our banner, gratitude. And if so, then that's enough. That is always enough. But it also gives us pause to consider why we don't have a day for each of those words and each of the values that we center our lives on. When we center our values, something shifts in us. Because it's not about learning the rules or learning the stories or learning what they all mean and have meant for eons. it's about ourselves. Something shifts that it becomes about how we live and interact with the world, and how the world changes us and we change it. That's what values do. They move us beyond ego, beyond identity, into relationship and purpose. So right here among us, maybe at coffee time after, or as you're going out the door, maybe we will talk about this, but also at our dinner tables this weekend. How will we talk about what we care about? Sure, what we're thankful for is a great start. But what do we care about? How will we ask each other what is at the center of being human? How will we express the things and the values and the principles that for you are sacred? So have a look at those words on our banner, or the words that you've been thinking about. Consider the expansive vocabulary words that aren't there, too. And what's your word today, or this month, or this year? What is at your center? What inspires you to be better? And I want you to hold on to that word for 1 minute while I tell you this quote by Harold Blackham, a pioneer of modern humanism, who said this: "Integrity is doing the right thing, especially when no one's watching." This word, then, that we're holding isn't for anyone else, really. It's for us when we're all alone and when we're doing all the things that we do in our days. It's for expressing and living that integrity. That's the kind of integrity we need, living and sharing the best of us. So, you've thought about a word. I've given you some time, some warning, if you have it. Over the last couple of weeks, we've had little conversations around. We're not going to do that today. We're going to do a little bit of a sound, a mess, a harmony of values that are leading us and living in us right now. So on the count of 3, we're just going to speak them out. We may hear 1 or 2 next to us, but it's going to be a cacophony of the values and the words that we are living right now. And how isn't that beautiful? That is gorgeous. So are you ready? After 3. 1, 2, 3. I didn't understand a single thing in that, but that was beautiful. That's the kind of community that we're building. And this is the expansive language that we're living, each of us in our lives, when we go to meetings, when we go to have fun, when we go to hockey games, when we go on a walk. These are the things that we're living out with our integrity to say that it matters. It matters. This is the expansive language that you can use to describe your spiritual journey. This is the language we can use to describe who we are together. That's the ways we seek to live. May it ever be so for you, for me, for us.
people, love spares no expense. When we embrace compassion more than fear, love lowers defenses, all are welcome here. Throw open every window, and every blind. Love becomes a gateway. Nobody's left behind. So must our tables welcome those who roam. None can be excluded, all must feel at home. None can be excluded. All must feel at home.
Sharing food is an ancient thing, right? As long as there's been animals on this planet, sharing food connects us. Breaking bread with one another connects us like nothing else does. And although this isn't a full meal, a ritual of sharing food has been a part of the Christian tradition for so long. And this, though it looks somewhat different than that tradition, is a ritual in which we go back. We go back, further back than when words would have stumbled us, when beliefs have got in the way. Let's go back further to when a table is a place of hospitality. Let's remember that most of all, we want to celebrate community around a long and broad and expansive table. And at this table, we give thanks for food and friends and strangers, newcomers and old-timers, spiritual seekers, all of us. We acknowledge the connection that links every person, animal and living thing, aware that each one of us gives unique expression to humanity, to spirit, to our world. And at this table, we celebrate that we're more together than we are alone, that we are connected, important, and impactful. We'll join together in these words that you see before you now. We remember the stories of our tradition, how the sharing of wisdom was so often accompanied by the sharing of a meal. In placing ourselves in the long line of spiritual seekers, of Jesus sharing bread, sharing wisdom, and sharing life, in remembering, may we be inspired to commit to lives of sharing, compassion, and justice. We commit to creating a world of inclusion, where all people live with respect and dignity, where everyone will receive a share. We commit to creating a world of sufficiency, where entrenched systems of privilege are challenged, where abundance overcomes scarcity, where wealth is shared, where all have enough. We commit to creating a world of compassion and hopefulness, where hearts and hands reach for each other, where we take joy in what could be, where we work to make a meaningful difference. At this table, we can leave behind religious beliefs and meanings and reenactments of ages past if we need to. We can also embrace them. We honor this ancient ritual by giving it our own sense of meaning, where a simple act of eating together can be a commitment to live the values we wish to live. So we are all welcome to participate in this time as we need to be welcomed at this table, or to hold the circle in remaining seated. You don't need to be a member of this church or any church to come and participate in this ritual and to share in this food. You don't have to believe A, B, or C. You need not be this way or that. If you are hungry for connection, if you are thirsty for community, you are welcome. You're welcome exactly as you are, invited, affirmed, accepted. This is our food for the journey, and in it may we find the strength to live our values.
The words we speak today around strengthening our intentions are borrowed from West Hill United Church. And please say these words with me, and again, say it with meaning and with intention, because you do a great job with that. As I live every day, I want to be a channel for peace. May I bring love where there is hatred and healing where there is hurt. Joy where there is sadness, and hope where there is fear. I pray that I may always try to understand and comfort other people, that I may seek comfort and understanding from them. Wherever possible, may I choose to be a light in the darkness, a help in times of need, and a caring, honest friend. And may justice, kindness, and peace flow through my heart forever. Amen. And as our time together today draws to a close, we extinguish this candle, not to end the light that it represents, but to carry it within us. And though the flame is no longer visible, its warmth and meaning remain. And may the spirit of this gathering continue to guide our thoughts, our words, our actions as we move forward with open hearts and renewed purpose.